We've all seen the videos and photos of yacht crew travelling to exotic destinations, playing with all the water toys and taking on the challenges of exciting ocean crossings. You'd be forgiven for thinking that a yacht crew member's life was like this all the time. Maybe they're planning a trip down to French Polynesia. They're probably about to head off down to the Maldives. And I bet they've got loads of charters booked, ready and waiting for them in the Caribbean. But you'd be wrong. Instead, the reality is that these yachts will most likely be going nowhere. And this is more likely the sort of winter that they can expect. Doesn't look quite like what you saw in the brochure, does it? But don't worry, because in this video I'm going to be showing you how in time you might actually be glad that you work on a yacht with plenty of downtime, what actually happens during those periods of downtime, and how going nowhere can actually help you to get somewhere.
Work on a super yacht, move up through the ranks and maximise your potential.
Hello and welcome back. So, why is it that so many yachts spend so many months of the year going nowhere? Well, for a start, they are owned by a very broad range of people. Different nationalities, different ages, and all with different needs, desires, and interests. For some owners, their yacht may be their pride and joy, and they want to spend all of their time on it and travel to all sorts of exciting destinations. But for others, it's more just like a holiday home where they want to spend maybe 2 or 3 weeks with their family and friends in the summer. Outside of this time, some of those yachts charter. But some owners don't want to charter out their yacht. It's their private space, and they've got it set up just the way they like it. In addition, the yachts themselves have different capabilities. You might like to think that you could plan an Atlantic crossing on the yacht behind me, but the reality is that it simply wouldn't make it. It just can't carry enough fuel. She doesn't have any sails, so she can't use good old-fashioned wind. Sure, you could stick it on a yacht transporter and take it anywhere in the world, but that involves extra logistics and costs that the owner might not want to be bothered with. All of this means that you may end up on a yacht that travels the world year-round. You may end up on a yacht that goes to the USA in the Caribbean in the winter months and then heads back to the Mediterranean for the summer months. But equally, you may end up on a yacht that doesn't go very far at all. Here in the Mediterranean, single-season yachts are typically in operation from about May until September, with April being used to make the final preparations ready for the season. So, what exactly are all these yacht crew doing during these periods of downtime? As I said in my Watch Duties video, you can't just lock the yacht up and walk away from it. However, there will likely be reduced crew members. This is the perfect time for yacht crew to take their holiday and, if they wish, take some extended unpaid leave. This is why I don't typically recommend coming to look for work in the off-season. Most yachts are trying to reduce crew numbers, not take more on. For the crew members that are on board, the working hours shall move to something like 8 until 5. And, so long as you're not on watch, you'll have your evenings and weekends free. This is what I meant when I said at the beginning of the video that in time you may come to like these periods of downtime. A lot of crew members who've done a couple of seasons live for these periods. This is their chance to live some sort of a normal life, to base themselves in one place for a period of time, make some friends there, join some clubs, try out some new activities. Here in the Mediterranean, crew members often like to take advantage of the fact that they're so close to the ski resorts and head up into the mountains at the weekends. Or maybe you'd like to try something like kayaking or rowing. Personally, I love to go running every morning, and when I was on a yacht based in Barcelona, I used to head up to Empuria Brava, where they've got an excellent skydiving centre, and jump for the weekend. In terms of work, it's a yacht. It's got to be perfect, so there are always things to do. Maybe the teak needs repairing, or on older yachts, it may even need sanding. That'll keep you busy for a few weeks. What about those areas of gel coat that you've been meaning to get polished up for all this time? Then there's all of this firefighting equipment that needs to be sent away for annual servicing. And while you're at it, especially on steel and aluminium yachts, you're always sure to find just a little bit of corrosion in those lockers. That'll be another few weeks going around all of the lockers, finding the corrosion, grinding it out, priming it, and repainting it. Here's a good one. What about resealing all of these joints? Paint repairs. This one's a favourite. Inventorising all of the products in the forepeak. Do I really know how many paint pots and paintbrushes we've got left? And this box is getting a little bit messy. Same goes for the interior. Are the contents of all these drawers known? And are any spares needed?
What about cleaning the edges of all these hatches that get overlooked when the yacht is busy?
Replacing the whipping on the ends of our mooring lines. Not so much on a fiberglass hull like this, but certainly on a steel yacht. A favourite is to grind back all of the corrosion in the anchor chain locker and repaint it. Oh, and while you're at it, redoing the markings on the anchor chain. Check out my video on dropping the anchor to find out exactly which markings to put. Another favourite, cleaning the bilges, particularly here in the engine room. All of these smaller maintenance jobs can be taken care of by the crew, but for bigger jobs there may be a need to get in some outside contractors. A lot of work can be done while a yacht is in the water, a lot more than you'd think, but maybe the yacht will have to come out of the water, even if only for a few days to clean the bottom and redo the anti-foul. Then, on top of maintenance and servicing, there's the matter of improvements. Firstly, improvements for the owner and charter guests to increase their enjoyment of the yacht. This could be anything from an extra couple of speakers in the tender to the creation of a whole beach club and addition of new shell doors. The sky really is the limit with these yachts, so as long as the owner is willing to pay, anything can be done. And secondly, improvements for the crew so that they are more efficient in their work and have a better time working on board. Make no mistake, although some crew will be on holiday and the crew remaining will have reduced working hours, that doesn't mean to say that this is a quiet period. In fact, it can be a very busy period for all departments: deck, interior, engineering and galley. It may be another 6 months before the owner steps foot on board again. But these months need to be used wisely to ensure that when he or she does step on board, everything is just right, so that you prove to him or her that it was worth keeping you on board during this downtime. So, we've covered why it is that so many yachts spend so much of the time not being used. We've covered what the crew do during this time, what work there is to do on board. But, as always, I like to finish up with what this means for you and your career and maximising your potential. As far as your career goes, you may be thinking that these periods of downtime are of no use to you at all. You wanted to be out there getting experience with navigation, mooring, anchoring, tender driving, service, hosting 100 of the owner's guests on board for the evening. And while you're right that this is great practical experience that you're missing out on, it's a great adventure to tell your friends and family. I have found that during these full-on busy times, life just gets prescribed to you. It just gets handed to you, and you do what you need to do day to day to get through, to make sure that the owner and guests enjoy their trip, to make sure that the yacht gets safely from A to B, to make sure that everything is in tip-top condition all of the time. But that doesn't leave a lot of time for you to reflect on where you're going, on what you're doing, to sit down and think, what do I need to do to advance to the next stage? What courses do I need to do? What exams do I need to take? What activities am I not doing that I really should be doing to make sure that I am strong mentally and physically, to be able to continue operating at a peak level, to be able to continue providing the service that your job requires of you? And finally, what skills have you recognised that you're lacking, that you could improve upon during these periods of downtime? This is what I meant when I said that a yacht going nowhere can in fact help you to get somewhere. So don't waste this time. Don't sit around thinking that I'm bored and there's nothing to do. There's plenty to do. There's always something to do. You know that I speak from experience on this channel. Been there, done that, didn't get me very far. You see, in my time, I've done 4 Atlantic crossings, one of which was on a yacht transporter, and I very much encourage you to go on this if you ever get the chance. Seen some of the most spectacular sunrises and sunsets. Spent Christmas and New Year in St. Bart's and watched the fireworks at midnight from the sun deck. Climbed the pitons in St. Lucia. Watched dolphins dancing in the bow wave. Held on for dear life at the end of the runway in St. Martin behind a Boeing 747 with its engines at full thrust, and even found time to squeeze in a few cocktails at Nikki Beach. And I've been able to do all of this because I've been working on yachts. But when I look back, that's been the easy bit. It's been easy to go and experience and enjoy those things. Take lots of photos, speak about it with family and friends. But it's actually been the downtime, it's been the quiet time where I've had to sit with myself, reflect and wonder, am I going in the right direction? Am I making the impact that I want to make? For me at least, this is where the hard work has really started. Facing my shortcomings and then having the discipline and the courage to go out and get it sorted and get moving in the direction that I want to go. The journey and the end goal will look different for everybody, but that's what this channel is all about, making the most of your time in the super yachting industry, because I believe that together we can make it. Alright then, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon to stay notified for future videos. As always, a like would be fantastic, a sub would be amazing, and I very much look forward to seeing you next time.